Bonjour à tous, comment ça va? Welcome to my channel, Le Voyaguer or The Traveler. Today I would like to talk a little bit about what you should do or what you should plan before you get to the country you want to go to. Okay, I am now 64. I have been traveling since I was 14, and so I picked up just a little bit along the way. And one of the things I learned by getting myself into sticky situations in different countries around the world is because of ignorance. Because I did not take the time to study about the country I was going to and about what the people believed or what was socially acceptable or what were the norms. And so I made my mistakes. So I would like to try to help others when they're traveling not to make the same mistakes. One of the things, especially if you're going to a country where you plan to live there, and not only live there, but you want to get married to the people who are living there, the indigenous people. Okay, so you need to know that. What's this? Okay. Oh, never mind. Um, so you need to know that. And one of the things that you need to do, especially in the Philippines, not especially, but in the Philippines, like any other country, is if you plan on getting married, if you're interested in forming a relationship or something like that, then you need to know certain things. One, you need to leave your American or Western ideals behind. Doesn't mean you get lost. Doesn't mean you give up who you are, but you leave them at home. You do not come over with the mentality of, oh, I'm going to live exactly the same way I did in the States, and everyone's going to do what I say because I am American, I'm Canadian, I'm something. And it just doesn't fly. And then the other thing is you don't try to save people. Oh, they're not as enlightened as I am, or they're not as advanced, or they're not as culturally minded, blah, and blah, 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 and on we go. You don't do that. Come with a blank slate, be open-minded, and just enjoy your trip. And one of the things you need to know here in the Philippines is there's a little thing called HIA. HIA is when a person's reputation has been, let's say, diminished or insulted. Even if the person's wrong, they still will say, oh, you insulted me. Oh, you made me feel like this. You made me feel like that. And one of the things, it is a very powerful thing here in the Philippines. And one of the things that you will very, very rarely ever see is having someone take personal accountability. They virtually do not know what it is to say, I am sorry, it was my fault, I was wrong, I need to change. Now, you do get the obligatory, oh, I'm sorry if they bumped into you, but it could be interpreted more like, oh, excuse me, not a heartfelt, oh, I was wrong, sorry. And they will go to extreme ends to avoid that, because then you're dealing with HIA. And they don't want to look bad, even if they're wrong. And so they will not say sorry. They will not say, it was my fault, I was wrong, because then that makes them look bad. So it's just, they're not wrong for doing that. It's just, I'm letting you know that you should be aware of this and be prepared. Okay? And if you're going to say, wow, see, that person bumped into me, or that person, he stole from me, or that person did something, and they never said sorry. And then they expect, in an accident, then they expect me to pay for their mistake. And don't try to sit there and because it's not going to happen. So just know that when you come over, okay? Because Hia is a very, very powerful thing here, and they try to avoid conflict or confrontation at almost any cost. They do. They are the most smilingest people I've ever seen. You can have the worst situation, and they somehow plow through it without thinking nothing about it. And so it's just it never ceases to amaze me how resilient the Filipino people are and how they can bounce back. But don't come over here and don't try to get offended because they didn't say sorry or they didn't want to admit to their fault. Just understand what you're getting yourself into. Do your research. Study on cultural norms of any country you go to. And here is one other thing I wanted to mention today was I had a distressing experience at one of the malls in Cavite. I'm not going to say which one. You know, you got Hia, so I'm not going to say which one, but there is one of the malls. And I was in a place where you sit down, you can eat something, and there was a foreigner, an American, and in my opinion, I wish these type of Americans did not come to the Philippines because it gives a bad impression upon the people, and then people start thinking differently about all Americans. That's the way it is here. What happened is this person was 50 years old, and he said, "Oh, I need my senior citizen discount, and I want my senior citizen discount. I'm 50, and in the States, you're 50, you get senior citizen discount." Well, I'm sorry, no, you have to be 55. And most places that I know, you have to be 55. And the senior discount in the States is not like the Philippines. It's not regulated. It's not mandatory. If they want to give it to you, that's great, but you still have to be 55. And if they don't want to give it to you, then they don't offer it. Okay, that's just the way it goes. And retirement is at 62. You can retire early at 62, full retirement at 65. But in the Philippines, senior citizens and your discount is regulated. You get a senior citizen ID card. And then not only do you get the ID card, you also get a booklet. And they have to write in that booklet what discount was given to you because you can only get so many discounts. Okay? And this person was going on and on. And like I said, they will try to avoid confrontation. And what do? They give this guy a discount, one that he is not legally entitled to. And then they came, since I frequent this establishment a lot, they said, "You're an American, right?" I said, "Yes." "Is it true that you do this and do that?" And I said, "No, it's not." And I said, "Plus, they're not eligible. Without that Philippine senior citizen card, you're not eligible to get a discount. So you should have never gave him one." And I told him, I said, what would have happened if the person behind him, the man or the lady that would have been behind him, worked for Social Security or they worked for the government and they found out you were giving discounts to someone that was not legally entitled to a discount? I said, you guys are too young for that type of trouble. You don't want to lose your job over something so stupid as that. And they just said, thank you for letting us know. He did say that, and we did give him a discount. But I said, no, you don't do that. This is your job. Okay, this is your livelihood. And the fact that the guy did not care about that, and he just wanted his discount. So please, people, if you're going to come over to this country, please act accordingly. Because remember, you are representing a lot of people who don't even know anything about the Philippines. And also now, because of your action or inaction, you've caused a bad taste in someone's mouth for Americans in general. That's not good. And that has made me very, very sad that had to happen. And I told him, I said, me, I would have told the guy to get lost. But I said, you're not going to do it that way. I said, so what you want to do in order to maintain here is say, sir, we would be more than happy to give you your discount. Just let me see your Philippine senior citizen card. And if they say, oh, I forgot it, whatever, just say, sir, we're more than happy to give it to you if you bring it back. But we need to see that card. And then there should never be an issue. Because at 64, I am eligible for the senior discount. But I have not gotten my card, so I don't get it. Without that card, whether I'm eligible or not, I don't get it. And I'm not going to force my way, because it's just not right. So please, be courteous. Do things right. Remember, you're representing a lot of people who don't know nothing about the Philippines. And now they're being lumped into a category of people they don't belong to. And also, study. Do not make the same mistakes that I did, wandering into areas you should never have been to, and you just got there by happenstance. Don't. Know about the country you're going to. Know everything that you can about that country. And determine whether or not that's right for you. And if you have a little bit of narcissistic traits or something like that, just maybe it's not the country for you. That's why you should always research. Know which country you're going to, what their cultural norms are, what their taboos are, where you can and cannot go, what you can and cannot say, and just keep a proper mindset. That's all that's what I have to say, is just keep a proper mindset. All right? You can see the lovely wife there. She just came in. And say hi, honey. Okay. That's the lovely wife. And yes, I'm married to a Filipina, a very gorgeous Filipina, in my opinion. So just do that. And if you can study and research the country that you're going to, things will be a lot better for you, I think. But what this guy did was not correct. And it put a bad light onto a lot of innocent Americans. So please, don't ask for discounts when you're not eligible. Don't ask for anything. Just come, be respectful, be courteous, and do what is right. That's all I'm asking. Okay, well, I will talk to you in the next video. I'll see you later. God bless. Au revoir.